good YouTube? It's Adam from Magnum Music Mode. Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to go ahead and remake from scratch Playboi Carti's J0RDAN. The tempo for this one is 154 beats per minute, and the track is produced by Cardo Got Wings, Juliano, and Ojivolta. We're going to start off with that main sound that we hear throughout the entire track, sort of like that phone ringing type of sound. Now, if you look at the credits of the track, we can go down to the credits, and we can see that there is a sample being used. There are a couple samples in this track, and we'll get to all of them, but the one for that phone bubbly type of sound is this one right here, Synth by Dopplereffekt. So let's go ahead and drop that in. So here's the song right here, Synth by Dopplereffekt. And it sounds like this. So after spending some time on this sample, I figured let's just keep things simple, and it got pretty close to the original one. So what I did here was just go to the first little blip here. And I'm just going to chop that up just like that. We'll delete the rest. We don't need anything else. Let's take out that little fade that we have at the top, and what we're going to do is select our region and go Shift Control R to reverse it, and we get this. All right, it's not there yet, but let's try and get there as close as possible. So we're going to take this sample and drag it into a sample alchemy to get that sound that we're looking for. We'll close this out for now. Let's go ahead and just give ourselves a 2-bar pattern, and it's just going to go something like this. All right, just going to repeat itself for the 2 bars. Oh, let's mute that out. All right, next, let's go ahead and manipulate that sample in Sample Alchemy. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change our Sample Alchemy mode into Scrub, or for this Source A. And we're just going to move the starting point of the sample to like around here. And then we'll adjust some settings to kind of stretch it out a little bit. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is gonna pull up the scrub jitter. We're gonna pull up the size of it. Then we'll just pull up this random time knob right here. All right, so that sounds good. Next what we're gonna do here is, because of the sample was quite quiet, we're gonna bring in a gain plugin just to make it louder. Just boost that up a little bit. And then we're going to bring in EQ just to take out some of that top end. So let's go ahead and bring in EQ and just bring down this top filter here. Make it a little bit tighter and pull it back a bit. All right, next let's go ahead and fill out that main melody. So the first thing we're going to do is going to bring in that underlying melody that's happening in the background. So we'll go Shift Command P and we'll bring in Logic's Alchemy. And what we're going to do here is go to a preset called Electric 80s. All right, this one right over here. We're going to go over to the soft performance, and we'll adjust the sound in a little bit. Let's just go ahead and just draw in that pattern. So it's going to go something like this. It's a simple pattern as well. Go repeat that. We'll move that over to the next bar. I'll stretch that out here. And for this last note, it's going to go up. But for these 2 notes over here, I want it to be softer. So I'm going to pull that down. And I'm going to make these a little softer hit as well. All right, let's go ahead and open up Logic's Alchemy. And what we're going to do here is pull up the delay a bit. Let's pull up the attack so it's not so plucky. Pull up the decay. I'm going to pull down the sustain so I control the length. And I'm just going to pull down the release so it's not so long. All right, so that's going to happen in the background. Now we're going to fill that out with some reverb at the end, but let's go ahead and get to the next sound. So let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. We'll bring in Logic's Alchemy. And for this one, we're going to bring in another preset called Aquatic Voices. And it's going to sound like this. It's sort of like a synthy vocal type of sample. So we'll leave it on the vocal sweep 1. We'll come adjust the sound in a moment. We'll just draw in the pattern, which is really simple. We'll go once again to a nice high octave, and it's going to just go right here. We'll just repeat that. We can join that together. All right, let's open up Logic's Alchemy and just get that sound a little bit closer to the original. So we want it to be a little bit more plucky on this hit here. Bring down the sustain. Bring down the release a bit. All right, I think that's okay. Kind of gives us that metallic sound that we need on that hit. Next, we're gonna go ahead and create another software instrument track, and we're gonna bring in Logic's Alchemy once again, and we're gonna bring in like a key sound that happens on that same hit. So let's go ahead and type in the preset Automata, I think it's called. Here it is right over here. And what we're gonna do is pull the performance over to soft and warm. We'll adjust the settings in a moment. We're just gonna copy down the same pattern. It sounds like this on its own. So the first thing we do is going to get rid of that round robin thing that's happening so we don't get a different sound on the second hit. We're going to bring down the delay, bring down the reverb, because like I said, we'll bring in our own. Just bring down the release as well. So together, we're sort of getting that metallic sound that we need on that hit. All right, we're getting there. Next, let's go ahead and bring one more sound just to fill this all together, and then we'll add in that reverb and it'll just pull everything together. So for the next sound, I'm gonna go ahead and bring in a cowbell sound, and I'm just gonna type in the song. I forget what track it's from or what kit it's from, but it's from one of my kits. It's the Cowbell, this one right over here from Show of Hands. So I'm gonna bring in the sample into a quick sampler optimized. We'll go ahead and just pull this up here. Let's draw in the pattern and then we'll adjust the settings on that sample, just a little adjustments. All right, so it's just gonna hit on the 2. The only thing we're gonna do is just going to bring the tack up a little bit just to soften it up. So let's open up Logic's Quick Sampler, and we're just gonna soften that up a little bit so it's not so hard hitting. Turn on the filter and make it a little bit darker. Bring it down a little bit in volume as well. All right, and together. All right, next let's go ahead and just group this all together, Shift Command G. All right, first things first, we're gonna bring in some chorus just to widen up the sound. So let's go ahead and bring in Logic's chorus. We'll go to modulation chorus, and we're gonna go to a preset, the mega wide chorus. Next, what we're gonna do is gonna bring in some distortion using Logic's Chroma Glow. This one right over here. So we are gonna go ahead and start from a preset. So we're gonna go ahead, go to our master bus, and we're just gonna go to the Energize preset. Just kind of gives it a little bit more energy. And then let's bring in that reverb to just round everything out together. So for that, we'll bring in Logic's Chroma Verb. This right over here, and we'll just stretch it out to be a little bit bigger. All right, so there is the main sample right there. It needs a little mixing and balancing of the sounds, but we'll get to that later. Let's go ahead and bring in the drums. I'm gonna go to the iMusic Deconstructed kit if you're looking for the drum sounds from the iMusic album. Link will be down below. But I'm just gonna go over to the J0RDAN kit right here. And let's go ahead and bring in the stuff that we'll need. So we'll start off with the snare and then build out from there. So here's the snare right over here. Bring that into a drum machine designer. And it goes something like this. It's a really simple pattern that just repeats itself for the entire track. So on the 3, and then the second last one right here. Except on the last one, we're going to bring down the velocity a bit so it doesn't hit as hard. Bring up the volume a bit. All right, next let's go and bring in the hi-hat. So we'll go back to our drum kit here and we'll take the hi-hat into here. All right, we're gonna start off with a two-step pattern and then we'll add in our rolls. So we'll go to our two-step. So let's go ahead and add in our rolls. We'll bring in a repeat right over here. Oh, and then we'll stretch out our pattern to 32 steps, and we'll have to get some rolls at the end here. So we have another one right here. And then another one right here. And that just repeats itself. All right, next, let's get to the 808. So for the 808, it's a couple 808 patterns that we need to get to. So it's gonna bring that into there. We'll start off with the first one. It goes like this. Let's go and just repeat that and move that over. And that's our first pattern. What we're gonna do here is just pull up Logic's quick sampler here. I'm just gonna make sure that's on mono and we'll just push it a little louder. Now on the 808, we just wanted to hit a little bit harder. So what we're gonna do here is open up the quick sampler once again. We're just gonna pull up the drive a little bit here. All right, and then we're gonna bring in Logic's Fat Effects. We'll add in a little bit more distortion here. So what we're gonna do here, just focus on the distortion module. So let's go ahead and just take all that out. Make sure the output is set to unity. And what we're gonna do here is just make sure our vary drive is pulled up a little bit more. Except we want to focus more on the higher frequencies. So what we're gonna do here, just pull this up. Just pull to reject mix. Otherwise, you get that kind of sound, but you want to reject those lower frequencies. All right, that just makes our 808 a little bit harder hitting like the one in the original track. All right, next let's go ahead and duplicate that pattern twice over and get to the next two 808s. So we get this right over here. So go 1, 2, and for the second 808 pattern, it's gonna go something like this. This comes back down and just a straight one note hit here. And then for the third pattern, we're gonna go in and copy over that second pattern because it is built off of that. We get another hit right here. So we got to focus at the end here. Just zoom on in. So we get another double tap here. Except that gets pulled back, I believe. And then right at the end right here, we get a nice little roll. So we're gonna make sure that we have our brush tool set. And I'm gonna go to a 16th triplet here. And I'm just going to paint it in right here. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that last pattern sounds like this. All right, and that's pretty much the beat right there. The next one I'm going to do is add in that one gunshot sample that was extremely controversial. I never seen so much sort of talk over just a single sample on a track. So let's go ahead and bring in that gunshot sample. This is the sample. It is the this is the name of the sample right over here. You can search it up. You can find it. And I'm just going to just cut out the top end of it, just like that. And I'm just going to put it at the top of the beat. And that's pretty much all that was done with that gunshot sample that so many people did not like. Maybe we can add a little bit of reverb on it. All right, next I'm going to go ahead, mix the beat, arrange it, and when we come back, we'll take a listen to how everything sounds together. Now, in this one, I didn't get to the intro part of the track because, once again, there's so much controversy over the intro. Many people did not like the intro, so I figured for this remix, we'll just focus on the actual J0RDAN track. Now, if you do want the intro, you can let me know. I could do it in a separate video. Actually, before we continue, maybe I should just show you quickly how to do the quick little repeat thing happening at the top of the track in the original one. So what we're going to do here is just copy over, let's just move this all over one. All right, I'm going to copy over this entire pattern, and I'll show you how to get that starter thing. So basically what they did was they just took the first beat just like that and repeated it over and over. So it went like this. All right, and then it went into the beat. So it sounds like this. All right, now let's go ahead and take a listen how everything sounded together. Playboi Carti's J0RDAN remade in Logic Pro. Playboi Carti's J0RDAN remade in Logic Pro. For you Logic Pro users out there, I'm gonna go ahead and save this entire session for you. Place it as a downloadable link below this video. If you don't use Logic, I got your back as well. I'm gonna go ahead and export all the mini stems, audio stems, and of course include the drum kit that you heard in this remake. You can find that entire playback down below the like button as well. If you do have a question on this or just want to chat or have any suggestions for future videos, let's go chat down below. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Later. Peace.